These are the Ponzi Papers. The Ponzi Papers are 26 articles written by an investigative journalist, Max Azzarello, who tragically passed away April 19th, 2024. I learned about Max spreading pamphlets and wondered what they said. I couldn't find anything on YouTube about his theories, so I decided to read his articles from Substack and Instagram here. As the narrator, I do not endorse or support anything he writes and do not claim any authorship. I simply find his writings interesting and wanted to share them. I am not a professional YouTuber. Please forgive my poor production quality. Part 12. Reddit's Role in the World's Biggest Conspiracy, posted October 31st, 2023. Halloween, pretty spooky. A couple of weeks ago, I posted this booklet on Reddit with a summary of my research findings from 1,500 hours of research since Peter Thiel collapsed the Silicon Valley Bank, with my certain claims that the world economy is about to collapse and will be intentionally thrust into World War III. In short, cryptocurrency is the world's first planetary decentralized Ponzi scheme, created mainly out of Harvard, Stanford, and Silicon Valley. These criminals invested in blockchain technology for the express purpose of hiding their transactions as they funneled cash out of the crypto exchanges through their well-known companies. Right now, those trillions of dollars have already been stolen out of the economy, though this won't be revealed to the public until the cryptocurrency liquidity pool hits zero, which is inevitable. Ponzi schemes always go insolvent eventually since there is no investment. When this happens, we'll have a brutal global economic collapse, dwarfing the Great Recession. Such a massive crime, larger than all of history's previous Ponzi schemes combined, didn't come out of nowhere. We are victims of a totalitarian con job that has taken over the U.S. government and industry. These supervillains have behaved like cult leaders on a national scale. They've bombarded us with non-stop messaging to make us bitter, divided, and irony poisoned. Endless problems with no solutions to make us anxious, depressed, and hopeless. Undermining truth and promoting nonsense conspiracy theories, also we accept our shitty circumstances while they bleed us dry. If you saw that post, you may have seen a link to an extensive write-up supporting my claims that was removed by Reddit shortly after I posted it. Now you can find that info here. To understand Reddit's role in the crime crew, the best place to start is in 2014 when they announced a $50 million funding round from some of the biggest names in the crypto spooper Ponzi. Notable names include Peter Thiel, my original villain whose venture capital firm started the run on Silicon Valley Bank and threw me into this rabbit hole. Thiel is a career Ponzi schemer. His promotion of offshore drilling, man-made seasteading islands, and cryogenics were all for Ponzi schemes. They promise these fantastical investment opportunities, but they fake some evidence, never invest, and steal the money instead. And he's playing a huge role in crypto since its inception. He invested in a fraudulent Stanford startup called Clinkle that was just so they could launder their money into the crypto Ponzi. He invested in companies like Polychain and Tagomi that helped build blockchain tech to let them secretly move assets off the public blockchain in massive volumes using high-frequency trading. He was the keynote speaker at Bitcoin 2022, where he claimed Bitcoin would be as valuable as the entire global stock market in a matter of years. These fantastical promises help keep victims from cashing out, which would eventually expose the Ponzi. Mark Andreessen, another huge crypto VC backing Polychain, Coinbase, and countless others. Notably, he and Thiel were two of the earliest and most influential investors in Facebook. Facebook orchestrated a massive crypto money laundering scheme via Libra Association, funneling their cash through a Credit Suisse, which intentionally collapsed for this purpose. Just today, it was announced that Andreessen's VC firm is investing more into AI. Since they've already cashed out of the crypto Ponzi, which is how we know it will collapse soon, they've pivoted heavily towards AI for the next round of Ponzi's. Obviously, some AI technology is very real and very powerful, but they use that promise of AI to sell us bogus Ponzi schemes. For a fun example, check out Tombot from Stanford's StartX.com, Ponzi Factory. It's a literal puppet that they're pretending is a robot dog with powerful mood-detecting AI sensors. Sam Altman, best known as the CEO of OpenAI, he's another Stanford grad, like Thiel, who has invested heavily in the crypto and AI Ponzi's. His most flagrant bullshit science is his new WorldCoin, which promises to use neural network technology to create a cryptocurrency that will solve universal basic income by getting people to scan their retinas into an orb. Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, meanwhile, showed up on a staggering investors list on an Israeli crypto company called Starkware Industries, along with some of the biggest names in Silicon Valley. His fund is Das Kapital Capital, LLC, the cheeky bastard. Let's revisit that 2014 funding announcement where they also introduced Reddit Gold. Check out the title. Did you know that Reddit Gold was a literal cryptocurrency? That's unusual because it didn't behave like a cryptocurrency at all. It wasn't a speculative asset or ever pitched as an alternative to fiat currency. It was just a platform's reward system, something that could have easily been accomplished without using the blockchain. Why did they do that? To best understand that, we can first look at the detailed write-up on how PayPal directly plugged into the crypto Ponzi via the blockchain. Then, let's look at the Clinton family's secret crypto conference. Virtually every participant of the Clinton Global Initiative has strange ties to cryptocurrency if you go looking for them. Moderna, for instance, launched a blockchain pilot for vaccine tracing. The supply conglomerate Agility Logistics used blockchain to track container shipments. Welcome.us promises the use of blockchain technology in securing housing rights in post-conflict Iraq. The reason all of these disparate companies invested in blockchain technology was because the blockchain was their source of theft. They link up their unregulated criminal blockchain and they funnel stolen cash from crypto exchanges and through their companies. Why was Reddit Gold linked to the blockchain? So Reddit could steal their piece of the pie. And we can suspect that when posts would get showered with Reddit Gold, it was these criminals laundering their stolen money. But the crypto theft is just one part of the operation, and companies from all sectors did the same. Since we're talking about Reddit, who's in the same crime network as Facebook and Twitter, we can identify another layer of supervillainy. Bad faith actors are heavily manipulating the discourse across countless subreddits in order to promote divisive, partisan content. Convince us we're helpless to do anything about our crumbling society, sow bullshit conspiracy theories, and make sure you don't find out that they're the supervillains. Just before they announced their Reddit Gold cryptocurrency, the admins made the choice to hide individual upvote and downvote counts. Their justification was that they used artificial vote fuzzing to normalize the counts, and it threw off the numbers. I'm an IT guy. This seems logical, but the obvious good faith solution would be to omit the number of artificial votes and show us the real ones. Instead, they hid the counts completely. This allowed Reddit to put a huge thumb on the scale without us realizing it. They have a sea of trolls whose job is to promote content that is incendiary, divisive, and wrong. If they don't like a post, like if it's exposing all of the preposterous crimes, they can throw hundreds of downvotes at it. It's easy to spot these downvote brigades if you get lost a lot of shares. My last post on our conspiracy got 530 shares, with only 250 net upvotes. Since a post would virtually never organically have more shares than upvotes, this lets us know that there were way more than 250 upvotes, but also a flood of downvotes. Once you understand the criminal interest being served by this media manipulation, keeping things divisive, ironic, jaded, bitter, partisan, hopeless, etc., you can easily spot trends by looking at the number of upvotes versus shares. Take the endless discourse on the Israel-Hamas war. If a post promotes war, strife, and division, it will have way more upvotes than shares. If it promotes unity and calls out the criminal governments of Israel and Hamas as they both send their people to the slaughter, it will have a much higher ratio of shares to upvotes because the trolls are downvoting it. Want to know what they don't want you to see? Look for the post with a high share to upvote ratio. If you saw my last post, you likely saw a bunch of very similar comments, all with a lot of upvotes. They hand wave away my claims without engaging with the content at all. Assertions that I'm obviously very wrong, crazy, or stupid. Let's look at some of the top comments from my post on our conspiracy. Entertaining, but not remotely believable. Imagine doing 1,500 hours of research to say crypto is mysterious. 120 upvotes. Notably, I never said cryptocurrency was mysterious. I said cryptocurrency was the world's first planetary decentralized Ponzi scheme that will soon collapse the world economy. That's the opposite of mysterious. You'd think people on this subreddit could think for themselves. Then you see the uninformed ramblings of someone pretending to understand Bitcoin at even a surface level get praise and realize just how lost some people are. 70 upvotes. Here we get an assertion with no evidence. These are the ramblings of a madman, and he doesn't know anything about Bitcoin. What was I wrong about? They don't engage. What about the very specific claims that it's the world's largest Ponzi scheme? They don't engage. They are practicing the art of sowing fear, uncertainty, and doubt, a rotten propaganda technique to get you to doubt me. Should let everyone know this is disinfo made specifically to discredit conspiracy. 21 upvotes. A very bold claim, without any evidence on this one. It's one thing to say I'm incorrect. It's another entirely to say I'm intentionally spreading disinformation. They give no motive or explanation for what purpose this disinformation would serve, and they also don't engage in a single word I've written. If all we have are just these 3 comments, we don't have evidence of much. But the main reason I've been able to prove so many preposterous claims is in the repetition of evidence. I've been implicating Reddit in a global crime for months, and I've dealt with hundreds of comments like this. Once I understood Reddit's role in the con, I realized I was producing interactive evidence every time I posted. If I'm suspicious of a user, I'll check their comment history and find that virtually all of their comments serve these criminal interests. One discredits me, the next reeks of tribalism in whatever subs they frequent, the next ironically mocks somebody for being earnest, the next promotes Amazon, and so on. This is social media at its most haunted. They've monopolized these spaces, curated them to make us feel as divided and disillusioned as possible, and convinced us that that's reality, while these con artists, supervillains, bleed us dry. They are cult leaders on history's largest scale. Luckily for us, the cat's out of the bag on the secret kleptocracy, which means we're about to build some desperately needed collective action, armed with truth, pointed squarely at the parasite class that has been gaslighting us and bleeding us dry. Anyways, looking forward to the comments.